Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Hey, everybody. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how many people there are here already. This is great.
I am blown away by how many people have signed up and shown up for this training.
Absolutely, but we're so excited that you're here. This is going to be, I think, a very well spent, probably about 45 minutes, I think this will be. And you're going to learn so much. So we'll let just a few more people trickle in here, but I think we should probably go ahead and get started.
I don't like to waste time. So, the people who are continuing to trickle in can continue to do so. And this should be available as a recording afterward, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone gets access to it? Okay.
Absolutely.
So let's roll through it. Thank you again for joining us. We are going to review the 9 expensive SEO mistakes that you're probably making. And we're also going to show you how you can fix them fast so that you can turn your website into a lead and sales generating machine.
Yeah, that's right. So SEO is not nearly as difficult as you might think that it is, but it is technical and it does involve a lot of very detail-oriented implementation. And so when we say that these are expensive mistakes, what we mean specifically is that if you are making these mistakes, the chances are very good that you are leaving money and probably a lot of money on the table. And so we're going to call those out for you, what we see happening the most often in the industry, and then show you how to fix them. So this should be a pretty valuable 45 minutes for you.
I am Carrie DePhillips. I am the owner of The Content Factory, and without dating myself too much, I have been in the search engine optimization industry for more than 10 years. My agency, The Content Factory, drives millions of dollars worth of organic traffic annually for a wide variety of clients, ranging from Astroglide to Zane Benefits. We've got a lot of tech companies and startups. Our clients run the gamut, and the reason why is because SEO is applicable to just about any industry, any business, whether you're a service provider or whether you have products. You can leverage search engine optimization to really 10x your business and level up.
Absolutely, and we're excited to show you how.
Just to give you guys an idea of what is possible through search engine optimization, when I founded The Content Factory in 2010, I had $500.
Woo, $500.
Big investment. And I put it toward my website. And then I started creating targeted content that would lead potential clients directly to me so that I didn't have to hunt them out. Here I am, about 8 years later, and The Content Factory is a multi-million-dollar agency. And I grew my business without a sales team. I've never had to pitch business. Business comes to me. We send them our proposal. Do you want to work together? Great. And then onward and upward we go. So when you are properly leveraging your website's SEO to attract new clients and customers, you can skip the expensive. It's costly in time and it's costly when it comes to money. Client or customer acquisition process. Your website really becomes a sales funnel that you can control and with great ROI.
It's exciting, isn't it?
I'm geeked about it. I know what's possible through SEO. We have created killer case studies for our clients, and we've trained other agencies on how to implement their SEO for their clients. And Kelly Chase is who joins me.
Well, hello.
Kelly Chase is the digital strategist at The Content Factory, and Kelly knows a thing or two about SEO.
I do. It's not my first SEO rodeo.
No. You've been around the block.
I've been around.
Kelly actually wrote several of the guides that are on TCF's website. We're going to make them available for you as well. But Kelly is also an SEO expert, and she's going to share what she knows based on what works in the streets. Because Kelly is out there working it for the clients all the time.
On these SEO streets, and we're going to show you how to make it in these streets, because not everybody's made for the streets. That's why they made the sidewalks. That's not you.
No. You, too, are made for the SEO streets. And let's talk about why SEO is important. Kelly, why is SEO important?
The main reason that SEO is important is because it consistently generates the highest levels of ROI in digital marketing across all industries.
This is 100% true. We get all kinds of clients that come to or through the TCF website, and a lot of them are interested in the shinier things. Social media marketing is very hot. digital PR. Who doesn't want some media coverage, right?
Yeah, your grandma's gonna love that.
It makes for great fodder around the Thanksgiving table when you've been featured in Success Magazine.
Absolutely.
Right? But when it comes to what's actually going to drive sales for your business, consistently, search engine optimization offers the highest and most consistent ROI out of all of the digital marketing tactics, I would say.
Absolutely. And the reason for that is because SEO allows you to connect with consumers who are looking for exactly your products and services when they are looking to buy them. So this is going to increase conversions for you. This is going to bring the right customers to your website, because you can have all the traffic in the world, but if the traffic that's coming to your website is not looking for your products and services specifically, and they aren't in a position then or in the very near future to make a purchase, then you're kind of wasting your time.
Absolutely. And so let's dig right into the biggest, most costly mistakes that we consistently see business owners and marketing managers make when it comes to SEO. And number one is you're targeting the wrong keywords.
Ooh, and this is the worst one.
It is the worst one, because if you're not laying your foundation correctly, if your keyword targeting is off, you are never going to be able to achieve the results that you otherwise would and should be able to.
Absolutely.
And so when you're targeting the wrong keywords, you're not putting yourself in the proper position for potential clients or customers to find you, because you're using the wrong search terms. That's not how they want to find you, right? So let's get into the fix for this.
Absolutely. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to target long tail keywords, because this is one of the first mistakes that we see people make. So a long tail keyword is going to be usually 3+ words, which might not seem intuitively like what you would want to target, but trust us, we're going to get into why. And it's because they're highly targeted and they have lower competition. So it's going to be easier for you to rank for them. And it's also going to be bringing you that targeted traffic you want instead of just generic traffic that doesn't really have much to do with your industry.
So here are some examples of good and bad keywords. So for example, the Content Factory has a blog post that ranks #1 for, I think, a few thousand keywords, right?
It's a beast.
It is a beast, and it drives a lot of leads and sales to the Content Factory. A great example of a perfect keyword that my agency would want to rank for, and so of course we do, is cost of social media marketing. And the reason why is because if somebody is searching for the cost of social media marketing, they're researching how much something costs because they're trying to figure out how much they should budget, or basically they want to make a purchase soon. So by introducing myself, my company, educating the potential client on the cost of social media marketing, and also weaving in examples of our own expertise and basically making that blog post a sales page, it converts like crazy. Now, I don't want to even rank for social media. Kelly, why don't you think I don't care about that as a keyword?
Well, social media, that's the kind of thing that we see people, this is the mistake we see them make. And it's because something like social media, I don't even know what the monthly search traffic is on that, but I'm sure it's just astronomical. However, someone who's searching for social media, what are they searching for really? Are they looking for social media platforms? Are they looking for stats about social media? Are they looking for stories about social media in the news? Are they looking for a definition of social media? Maybe it's your grandma on there, I don't know. But the chances of them someone searching for social media who is looking specifically to potentially purchase social media services from an agency is pretty low. And so you don't really want to target that. And on top of that, good luck ranking for social media. That's probably not happening.
A Wikipedia page ranks at the top of that. Twitter itself, Facebook itself might rank above that. So there's no way that even if I wanted to rank #1 for social media that I could. And then also, I don't want to rank for that because people searching for social media are not likely to convert to hiring my agency. So I don't really care about that as a keyword. Another great example is blanket versus weighted blanket for anxiety. If you sell weighted blankets, you're not going to be able to rank #1 for blanket in the first place. Let's get real.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly.
Right? But weighted blanket for anxiety, you could have a real shot for. And again, somebody searching for that phrase is in the research phase before making a purchase. They're looking for weighted blankets for anxiety. Hey, if you happen to sell them and you rank #1 for that search term, if you rank #1 for it, is likely to generate sales for you. And that's where you see all of the ROI and SEO.
Absolutely.
Bakery again versus best wedding cake bakery in Houston. Now, if you're a location-based business, if you're a brick and mortar, you definitely don't want to ignore SEO, because you best believe that people are searching for the best wedding cake bakery in Houston. And if you're a cake baker in Houston, that's a high conversion keyword for you. It's long and not that many people are searching for it on a monthly basis relative to bakery, obviously, but the people who are looking for the best wedding cake bakery in Houston, if you can say, hey, that's me, I'm at the top, #1 in the Google search result, they're probably going to trust Google and send you some money.
Absolutely. They're going to believe that ranking.
So these are called transactional keywords, and transactional keywords indicate that the user is ready to make a purchase. So again, here are some great examples of transactional keywords that, let's say if you were a weighted blanket company or a PR agency or a business coach, these are the types of search terms that you would want to rank for. Here's why you want to rank on the first page. Kelly, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. So you don't just want to rank for keywords, but you want to rank in the top 10 and ideally in the top 3. And that's because 91.5% of search traffic goes to sites that rank on the first page of the search engine results. And on top of that, the top 3 results take in 61.5% of the clicks. And if you think about what it's like when you go to Google something, you'll understand why this is true. If you end up on the second or the third page of results and you're still not finding what you're looking for, chances are you're going to rephrase your search instead of continuing to go, because Google in general is very, very good at delivering the correct results for the right query. And so if you're not finding it, you'll probably just start over before you click anymore.
Right. I know that when I type in a search term, I'm looking for something specific. If I don't find it on the first page, I'm not going to go clicking to page 2 or 3, because chances are I was in the wrong. I better go back and reword what I was searching for, because clearly Google didn't understand me and I need to do better.
Exactly.
There's an old joke that I like to tell.
Oh, this old chestnut.
When it comes to SEO, and it goes like this. Where's the best place to hide a dead body?
Gosh, Carrie, I don't know.
On the third page of the SERPs, because nobody ever clicks that far.
Yep.
But I'm ching.
But you can't hide bodies on results pages.
I know. I do like to trot that one out.
That's a good one. But it's so true.
Right. So if you're ranking on page 3, forget about it. Nobody's ever going to find you. Nobody's ever going to click that far. If you're in the top 3, you really want to be angling to usurp that top position, because then you're taking a third of all of the traffic that people are searching for.
So juicy.
Yeah, that's how you're able to really just steal market share, market awareness, just steal money from your competition by outranking them in the search.
Right, and so the reason that we talk about this is because you want to target keywords that you can rank for. If you don't think that you can get to that top 10 and ideally to the top 1 through 3, then it's not worth your time, because you're not ever going to see the traffic from it. So what you want to do is you want to decide, when you're looking at your keywords, how hard it is to rank for that keyword. And here's how you're going to do that. The quick and dirty way is to, if you're in Chrome, go and pop open an incognito window. And the reason you want to do that is because the Google algorithm is familiar with you and the kinds of things that you usually search for. And so your results are always going to be slightly skewed, because Google's going to show you what you think you want to see. So if you want to get a better sense of what just the overall, like a clean look at the results, you're going to want to go into an incognito window. And once you do that, you're going to want to pop open the top 3 results. And you're going to look at these and you're going to ask yourself, how much domain authority does this website have? Basically, like, is this Wikipedia?
Or is it like Bob's random review site?
Exactly.
That hasn't been updated since 2003.
Right, because Bob is going to be a lot easier than Wikipedia.
Right. If you see, Bob's website that hasn't been updated since 2003 only has 300 words of content on that page, nobody's linked to it, it's a wide open keyword, that's easy pickings for you. That's what we like to call low-hanging fruit in the startup world.
Absolutely. So if you see something like that and you can create a guide that is more in-depth, you're going to want it to be longer, ideally over 2,000 words, and you are going to want it to be exhaustive. You want to take a topic and give someone all of the answers. And once you do that, if you're able to do that, you can create content that's 10x better than what's already there in the 1 through 3 spot. You're in pretty good shape.
This 10x rule comes from Rand Fishkin over at Moz, and he's pretty clear that you should be able to write content that is just 10 times more comprehensive, or really, ultimately, the word here is value, because what you want to do is provide the most value to the reader searching for that search term relative to anybody else on the internet. It's really extra possible to do that.
Right, and even if you can't, if you look at this stuff and you're like, I don't know if I can make it 10x better, can you make it 3x better? This is one of those situations where you shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you land among the stars. You've got to just make sure that what you're doing is you're creating the most value that you can for the users, and if you create more value for searchers, you're going to have a much better chance of usurping other websites.
All right, so should we just move along to number 2?
Yeah,
that was a very comprehensive number 1, I would say. It takes a long time to go over keywords, but again, it's worth every minute, because if your keywords aren't right, your foundation isn't right, and you're never going to achieve the results that you're looking for. So the number 2 costly mistake that you're probably making is your website's back end is broken, or maybe it's not all the way broken, but it's like squeaking a lot.
Yeah, and you might not even know. It's really easy to not realize. Your website can look totally fine on the front end, but there can be all kinds of stuff going on in the back. And if you aren't familiar with the back end of your site, which, to be clear, if you don't know what we're talking about actually the underlying coding of your site. We're talking about how your website is set up. We're talking about the structure of your site. If there can be real problems there, and if that's not your area of expertise, you might not even know it.
So we've got a fun sheet for you to tell if your website's backend is broken, and that's give your site a checkup with SEOsitecheckup.com. This service is free. You can go in, type in your URL, and it will tell you how many checks you pass, how many checks you fail, and how many things you might want to take another look at.
Yeah, and this is so cool, because I know that when I look at these reports, I've learned so much about back-end SEO that I didn't know before just by looking at these reports, because it'll give you an idea of the kinds of things that can go wrong and how they might be affecting you negatively. And so that's like some really awesome information to have if you're looking to invest in an SEO strategy. But the other awesome thing is that this report that it spits out, this is not your area of expertise. If this kind of stuff freaks you out and you're stressed about it, don't, because you can print this report out and you
print it. Are you gonna are they gonna fax it? Are they gonna fax it to their web team and then they print it out?
Well, they have to print it out to give it to the carrier pigeon.
Listen, you're gonna want to smoke signal binary code to your web team.
So you can email.
Yes, you can.
Grandma Kelly over here.
You can download it as a PDF, as you usually can with such reports from the internet.
Yeah. All right, and you can send it to your web team.
And call in the experts, because the people who developed your website should be able to fix all of this, especially if you send them this report and say, hey, can you fix this? If you created your website on a DIY basis, these reports even tell you how to go in and fix them yourself in most cases. So even if you're not a web guru, you don't need to be a back-end SEO expert in order to go to SEOsitecheckup.com, run that report, and find out everything that is wrong with your site, at least in a very urgent way.
Yeah.
So definitely pull that report for your website. You'll probably be surprised by what it finds, and then just go in, make those quick changes, or have your web team go in and make those quick changes, and you should see pretty quick results out of that.
Absolutely.
Number 3 on the costly SEO mistakes.
It's that you don't have enough backlinks.
This is a big one, guys, because backlinks signal to the search engines that your website is a valuable resource. And so if websites like, for example, Inc., Entrepreneur, Forbes, Business Insider, all of these websites have linked to the Content Factory's website and our resources and guides. That signals to the search crawlers that name brand outlets and websites are linking to us as a resource, and that tells them that they should probably bump us up in the search engine results pages so that more people can find our valuable resources. And we've had huge success with this. And so the next question is then, how do you acquire these backlinks? And Kelly, you're the Hero expert, so I'll let you take this one.
Well, the best way to get high quality backlinks from websites that have very high domain authority is to sign up for Hero. It stands for Help a Reporter Out. It's at helpareporter.com. And basically you sign up for this. It is a totally free service, which is amazing actually. And every single day, 3 times a day, you're going to get literally dozens of media queries in your inbox directly from journalists. Like you can see this one here. This was a recent one that was in the Washington Post. This is an article for the Washington Post. And these are reporters who are on deadlines. They've got very specific questions that they need answered quickly from someone in the industry who knows the answer. And that person is likely you.
It could be. So let's use this as an example. Kelly, what kind of person might want to respond to this in order to get a backlink? Because here's the thing, guys, when you get quoted in media outlets, they cite where you're from and then they link back to your website in almost all cases. And that's how you really get those juicy backlinks that you need to establish the domain authority for your website and help your content generate more organic traffic and leads and sales. So let's say, using this example, who might be able to reap the rewards of some Washington Post coverage?
Well, obviously what we have highlighted here down at the bottom would be anyone who plans large events and who could shed some light on this issue. But don't limit it to just that. If you read the query, if you are, let's say, the marketing manager for a hotel or for a cruise line, if you have experience setting up events in these kinds of situations, are you travel business that books like large groups of people onto these sorts of boats? If your industry, if what you're trying to sell has really anything to do with this, you can chime in and say, hey, I've had experience with this before and here's my 2 cents. And that's exactly who they're looking for, is someone who's been there and has the answer.
Now this has a 2-pronged, well, I'd say a 3-pronged benefit. Number 1, you're going to get brand exposure. You can really, if you're a cruise ship party planner, you can really position yourself as, you know, it never gets crowded around here because I've done X, Y, and Z to ensure that everyone has a good time, everyone has enough space. Overcrowding, not on my watch.
Exactly.
You know, and that's great publicity for the brand itself. But then also you're going to get that backlink for SEO. But then also you're going to get the referral traffic as a result of the backlink when people click through it to find out, you know, well, what is this cruise line where I get all of this elbow room?
Absolutely. And even a 4th benefit is that now Mr. Christopher Elliott here, if he's used your quote and he knows what your expertise is and that you got back to him quickly and that you had a great answer and that you promoted it later on social media, now he knows who you are. And the next time he has a question about this, he doesn't want to go to Hero where he's going to get hundreds of responses. He wants to go directly to the person that he knows has the answer. And that's how you begin to develop these relationships with journalists over time, and it is completely possible to run your own PR in this way and to get amazing results.
And again, this is free, 100% free. You can generate 6 figures worth of media coverage, and how that's calculated is if you were to buy ad space in that media outlet, how much would it cost you? With Hero, the answer is free. And I ran an experiment last year where I went hard at Hero for 30 days, and I responded to every media query that I thought would fit, that I could respond to. And in that time, I got 6 media placements, including a nice little feature in Success Magazine.
Ooh, swanky.
Again, grandma liked that at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of ooh, ah.
So successful.
And guys, I've used Hero to get quoted in the New York Times, on CNN, TV, and CNN.com. You can use Hero to get all kinds of media coverage. And so in 30 days of responding to Hero queries, I got 6 pieces of media coverage, establishing myself as a thought leader in the industry. And because some of those got syndicated or republished by other websites, I ended up getting 11 backlinks from high quality websites that really said nice things to the search crawlers.
Yeah, and that is so cool. And this is replicable. You can do this over and over again. So Carrie and I have a side project. We're not just colleagues, we're also friends.
Yes.
And we spent all of 2017 traveling the world while working, called it workationing, and we had a podcast that documented our travels as we went to a different country every month. And in just 12 short months, while still you were running the agency, I still had a full client load, just in our spare time, we were featured in 22 major news outlets, including Glamour, Fast Company, NBC News, USA Today, Women's Health, Business News Daily, The Huffington Post. We couldn't even fit them all. And this caused our podcast to take off in ways that we couldn't have even imagined. And this was just with some casual hero use.
Right. And so I have gotten a ton of media coverage via Hero for the Content Factory. You and I, in our spare time, ended up getting in 22 media outlets for our podcast, for our travel podcast via Hero. And all of TCF's clients who are PR clients, some of them get 15, 20 media placements per month, courtesy of Hero.
Yeah, your mileage may vary depending on your industry. Certain industries have a lot more queries than others.
Mm-hmm. Business and finance has a lot.
Yeah,
Travel has
healthcare, sex and relationships. But regardless of what your industry is, if you're combing through these every day, you will find opportunities, and you just need to seize them.
So sign up for Hero. Don't walk to that, because you're missing out on major opportunities for your brand and for your website's SEO. Expensive mistake number 4. And this is one that
You see this one constantly.
all the time. So Kelly mentioned earlier in this training that your website content should really be at least 2,000 words. And Kelly, why is that?
Well, that's because the average length of content that ranks in the 1 through 10 spot is over 2,000 words. You can see this graph over to the right that actually shows you that in the top 3 spots, you're actually talking a little bit closer to 2,500 words, actually. So you want to make sure that when you're writing content, a lot of people, when they get started, they just want to churn out about a bunch of content. And they're writing 250 to 500 word blog posts, and they're posting it sometimes even 5 days a week. And that is so much work.
And it's a waste of time.
It's a complete waste of time. You are so much better off writing, instead of 500 word blog posts a week, 1 2,500 word blog post a month is going to do more for you in the long run if you can create something that is valuable and exhaustive on the topic.
And when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, because the search crawlers aren't just looking for a keyword stuffed page that says cost of social media marketing 35 times. What they're looking for are contextual keywords. Well, if you're talking about the cost of social media marketing, what else should you be talking about in this post? The search crawlers are smart enough to understand contextual keywords, and they expect to see them. So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, prices for all of those, maybe a range, links to different resources. That is what the search crawlers are looking to see in your content before it decides to rank that page high in the SERPs.
Absolutely. And the other thing that this does for you is that something that Google looks at is how long people stay on your website, because the Google algorithm is always trying to figure out how valuable your content is to the user. And so if users come to your site and they stick around for a while, Google takes this to mean that they found what they were looking for, which is always the goal of Google. So if you create a long form piece that really answers all of these users' questions, they're going to stick around longer. They're going to brew themselves another cup of coffee, and they're going to sit down and they're going to read this bad boy, and that's going to tell Google very good things about your website.
And that also gives you the opportunity, well, long form content specifically, also gives you the opportunity to fix expensive mistake number 5, and that's your content isn't structured properly. It's not enough to have 2,000, 2,500 words on the page. You need to make sure that that is structured properly. Otherwise, you're not going to achieve great results.
Absolutely. And probably the most important thing that you can focus on in structuring your blog posts is H2s. Now, H2 headers are, as you can see here, this is something that I pulled directly from one of our blog posts. You can see where the H2s are. They're basically the section headers, and you're going to want to make sure that those are put into H2 tags. And when you do that, The reason you do this is, number one, it's going to break up your content. It's going to make it more readable, more understandable. People are going to stick around longer. We've talked about why that's such a good thing. But the other reason it's so important is that they let Google know what information on your page is the most important. So the keywords that you really want to rank for, what this post is about. And as we said before, it also makes your content more readable and scannable so people stay on the page longer. So it's just win, win, win all across the board. So make sure that you're utilizing your H2 tags.
H2 tags, very important also for ye old Google answer box.
Yes, we love the Google answer box.
Here's a great example of what that looks like in action. And you guys have seen this whenever you search for things. Sometimes there's a little boop. Hey, here's the answer to my question right here. And it may seem like, well, why do I want to rank for this real estate? Why do I want to take that answer box when the question is being answered right on that page? And there was some concern in the SEO industry that ranking in this particular spot would negatively impact click-through traffic. And the reality of it is that's not the case.
No, all the data shows across industries that getting into the Google answer box only increases your traffic. And it makes sense because when someone's making a query to Google, when they're typing keywords in there looking for something, they're looking for an answer. And so when they see that, look, oh, this website already has an answer, we've got numbers, a very specific answer to this question, then that makes them trust you. But probably they had more of a question than just that. And once they see that you were right about that, they're going to click on yours because they're going to assume that there's more information in there that's also going to be reliable.
And surprise, there's 2,000 to 2,500 words more of information. And so here's a great quick and dirty way to see what kinds of questions you should be asking and answering to get that real estate in Google's answer box. And so when you start typing out your keyword query, there's going to be some questions there. Answer them.
Yeah, absolutely. This is really important because, well, number one, because voice search is becoming a new trend. And so you want to bake that into your content now because that's only growing. And in voice search, if you ask something of Siri, you're asking her a question, and more often than not. And so you want to phrase things as a question. Also, if you take one of these questions and you pop it into an H2 header, and then directly underneath it in the most succinct way possible, in just a couple hundred characters, you answer that question, then that's going to be something that Google looks at. And when you get to the top 10, then you have a chance for ranking in the Google answer box. So if you structure your site content that way ahead of time, you're only increasing your chances of that. And that can do huge things for your organic traffic.
Number 6. Guys, you know it's a big waste of time, money, and effort.
When your blog isn't set up properly.
Right? Oh, is it on another website? Because that's not helping.
Yeah, no, if your blog is not on your website, you need to fix that. And also, yes, you need a blog. This is something that we have to kind of like go to the mat for with clients often. It is not enough for you to optimize your web page. It is not enough for you to use SEO on product pages. If you want to rank for high value, highly targeted keywords that are going to bring sales and leads and all of those things to your business that you need your business to grow, you have to have a blog.
And you need to put content, targeted content on your blog. It needs to be on your website.
Yeah, we often see people will have their blog on a whole different domain, and that does nothing for you because you're driving the traffic to your blog and not to your website. So in some ways, you're like cannibalizing your own traffic. So don't do that.
A quick and dirty, great way to integrate your website and blog, WordPress.org we love it for SEO. And the reason why is because there are a lot of great plugins that you can use for WordPress. A lot of things have been figured out already with WordPress, and it enables a lot of functionality that you just don't get through, let's say, Squarespace or Wix, which a lot of business owners and people who are creating new websites and are kind of going the DIY route, they tend to go with, let's say, Squarespace or Wix because you can drag and drop. And listen, I'm not going to say that those services can't provide value and help you drive sales and accomplish your goals. But if you're looking for the easiest way to incorporate SEO, which again, I really can't underscore the ROI potential for search engine optimization, it's just easier to put it on WordPress.
Absolutely. And you really want to invest in your SEO strategy early. You know, build your website now on the kind of website that's going to perform best for SEO, because the other problem that we see all the time is that people will start to build up a website, and even if that website is performing pretty well, the act of shifting a website to another platform and creating a whole new one, you can really hurt your rankings when you do that. It's always very scary.
It is, yeah. It is always very scary whenever, Kelly and I are fanning ourselves with our hands right now.
It makes me sweat even thinking about it. So like, spare yourself that and build it on WordPress from the beginning.
Is our recommendation. Also, again, like I said, there are a lot of great plugins that are available on WordPress that you can use. And so mistake number 7 here, if you're not optimizing your website and optimizing your search engine optimization, like dialing it up to 10 with the right plugins, you are leaving sales, traffic, leads, social shares, all of it on the table. And so let's start with my personal favorite, which is Yoast Seo. And Yoast is kind of an industry standard. It's free. There's a pro version if you want to upgrade. I think that we even use the free version.
Yeah, for most of what you need, that's really all you need is just the free version.
So Yoast is fantastic because it enables you to easily see, are you hitting all the right notes with your page's SEO? And it's got a handy dandy green light, yellow light, red light system that you can see over here on the left. All lights are green, that's good. In some cases, you might pop your content into the page and you'll see that it's yellow or red. Now, if that's the case, it's going to tell you all of the things that you need to fix in order to make your page as attractive to the search crawlers as possible. And right down here, you can see we've got the title that's going to show up in the search engine results pages. But down here, you can edit this snippet. Now, usually what happens is this auto-populates, and it auto-populates with the first sentence or two, however many characters there, that are in your blog post.
Yeah, to be clear, what you're looking at here with this snippet is this is what, when someone searches for, when someone finds your website on the Google SERPs, this is what they're going to see.
Right, is this 2-sentence description and your title. Now, what you want to do is make sure that you are optimizing that 2-sentence description for the readers on the SERPs. You want to make your page stand out from the rest and make it clear that you're going to provide the most value out of all of the pages that you're up against on that SERP to the reader. So maybe if you rank number 2 or number 3, because you've got a better description down here, somebody's going to say, you know what, I'm going to try number 2 first instead of number 1. That seems more relevant to my interest. If you don't have Yoast or something similar, it makes it difficult to do this automatically. And so Yoast just takes a lot of the guesswork out of your SEO.
Absolutely.
We have a couple other recommendations. Number 1, click to tweet is fantastic because this enables you to pull quotes from your blog content, make it into a little embeddable tweet that it looks like an image that users can click on and just auto tweet that phrase or pull quote or stat, whatever you want it to be, from your post, and it will send it out through Twitter automatically. That will auto tag you. This is a fantastic way to bake social sharing into your content. People, when they see that click to tweet, they're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to click to tweet that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to wake up the next morning and see that some people, while you were sleeping, were reading your content and clicking your click to tweets and sharing your content with their network just because you kind of bake that in. Click to tweet is a fantastic, and I believe it's also free, plugin that I would highly recommend. Another one to check out, and there are a bunch of different options when it comes to social sharing toolbars. You can pick your poison on that. They all kind of do the same thing, but essentially what they do is, again, give the reader, puts it at the top of their mind, hey, maybe I should share this via social. So at any point in time when the reader clicks on any of these social sharing icons, it will pop up an option for them to share it, and then it will record those shares over time. Here's why you care about that. The reason why is because when the reader comes to your page, the first thing that they're going to be slapped with is all of the social proof of the people who found your content so relevant that they decided to share it with their networks. Over time, as those social shares build, that's going to make your pages stickier. It's also, herd mentality, going to lead to more social shares. And those social shares aren't just great for, getting the word out about your page or like generating some engagement on social media. The search crawlers also expect to see social shares because, again, that indicates that your content is worth sharing. And then maybe if it gets enough shares, the search engines are going to determine that, you're worth ranking a little higher than we'd previously put you. And so social sharing toolbars and click to tweet are two ways that you can bake in social sharing and social proof and also social engagement into your content.
Yes. So moving on to number 8. Another huge mistake that we see all the time is that you're not tracking your progress.
How do you know where you're going if you don't know where you've been or how far you've come?
Absolutely. You need to know, and you can't improve something without measuring it. I'm a big believer in that, and I think it's absolutely true about SEO.
If you tell me to drive 8 miles down the road and you don't give me an odometer or any kind of like tracking, I'm just gonna eyeball. How do you know how close you are?
Exactly. So you're going to need to be tracking your progress. And the fix, obviously, you need to start tracking. So here specifically is what you need to know, what you need to start tracking right now. Number 1, you need to know the value of your search traffic. And this is something Carrie talked about a little bit earlier. And that's basically calculated by how much it would cost you to buy that traffic through like pay-per-click ads.
Right. So for example, if we say that a page is worth $1,000 in organic traffic, what we're saying is you would have to spend $1,000 in AdWords targeting those same keywords in order to generate the amount of traffic that your website is generating for free via organic. And I don't want to say for free because, as you know, there's a lot of work involved with creating the right kind of content and targeting the right kind of keywords and making sure your content is optimized and all of these things. But once you do that, it's done. And that's where the ROI is.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you think about it, when you're paying for ads, you're going to pay for that traffic. But as soon as that ad is gone, so is the traffic, which is not the case with organic traffic. And so if you're investing in that early, over time, you can really build it up until you're getting massive amounts of traffic through organic search that you're not paying anything more than just the development of that content for. And so that's really huge. And that's where you really start to see results. So you're going to want to know that. The next thing you're going to want to know is which keywords you rank for, because you need to know where your traffic is coming from, what's been successful for you. Are there keywords that are like glaringly absent, that this is, this is what you're selling and you don't even rank for words around that?
Right.
So you need to know which keywords you're ranking for.
Also, where you rank for those keywords, because if you're in position, let's say 2 through 10, that's not bad. Actually, even if you're on the second page, that's not necessarily bad, because that tells me that you're in a prime position to revamp that page, add more content, add more keywords, maybe restructure it a little bit, and then bump that up the SERPs. So in order to really optimize your strategy and squeeze out the most ROI from your efforts, you need to know where you rank so you can have an idea of, all right, these are the pages that if I tweak them a little bit more, I can go from position 3 to maybe position 1. And then you know that you're going to get twice as much traffic then, right? You can't do that if you don't know where you rank.
Absolutely. You also need to know how many backlinks you have, and not just how many you have, but how good they are. Because let me give you an example. Let's say that you have a product on your website and that you have a way for people to order a free sample of this product on your website. It's possible, or you can even make it happen, that that free sample page would get picked up by one of these hundreds, if not thousands, of fly-by-night freebie websites. These things are all over the internet, and they go up and they get taken down just as quickly. And Google never really values them as very authoritative because they're never around for very long. So you could have 1,000 backlinks from something like that, but Google isn't going to really value those the way that they would value one backlink from, say, Glamour.
Right. And you don't just need to know all of this about your website. You need to know all of this about your competitors' websites too, because that's how you steal their sales. I love stealing sales via SEO. It's one of my favorite things. It's hunting. We go hunting for client money all the time, just like, whose market share can we steal today? In order to be able to do that and to have a really aggressive SEO strategy that doesn't just make you money, but takes it away market share from your competitors, you need to know not just where you stand, but where they stand as well. And then you can start taking advantage of their weaknesses.
Absolutely.
So how do you do all of this in one spot, Kelly?
Well, girl, you can get SEMrush Pro, which is one of our absolute favorite tools. It will help you in an intuitive and easy way really visualize and keep track of all of the things that we were just talking about.
So here is a snapshot of contentfact.com, my website, and you can see the traffic cost, the cost of my traffic. If I were to spend in pay-per-click advertising, what my website generates organically, I would spend almost $1 million a year. I rank for almost 15,000 keywords. That is not atypical given the strategies that we implement.
Absolutely. We have clients who perform this well or better after we get done with them. This is all very doable, and you can do this across industries. And I mean, just imagine what your business could do. If, let's say, you had $1 million to spend this year on CPC ads, what would that do for your business? And what if you could get the exact same amount of traffic without having to pay for it? That's the power of SEO, because that $1 million of traffic, you're not going to get that for free otherwise.
Now, do you see this paid search line? It's down here at the bottom and it's flatlined at 0 because I have never spent any money on AdWords or pay-per-click. I've never needed to because my website does all of that for me.
Yep, and not only is that $1 million a year that you get to keep in your business, but also all of the traffic and leads, the targeted traffic and leads that comes in that way is the lifeblood of the business, and that's how the business is growing.
Here's another snapshot of what SEMrush can show you. So here you can see some of the keywords that we rank for. Press release distribution, you might imagine that a PR agency might want to rank #1 for that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Juicy.
Nailed it. And with the right strategy, you can do this too. We'll show you how. Website content writer. Also, hey, 1,000 people a month are searching for that. It's got a cost per click. If I were to pay for every click to my website that comes in through Website Content Writer, I'd be paying $11.24 per click. I get all of that traffic for free.
And that's just to get them to your website. That's not even to convert them.
Right, and over here in the upper right, you can see the organic position distribution. This tells you how many keywords you have in the various positions. You can see we've got almost 500 that rank in the 1 through 3 spots, and about 750, 800 in the 4 through 10. That's great. The 4 through 10 is where I would focus my energy, will focus my energy in the future. Let me restate that.
Absolutely. Continue to focus our energy.
Right. To revamp that content so that I can move more of the 4 through 10 over to the 1 through 3 spot. Down in the lower right, you can see the competitive positioning map. You can see here are the other websites that rank for similar types of keywords, and it kind of gives you an idea of who your competitors are in the online space, because you might think you know who your competition is.
Yeah, it's a lot less ambiguous IRL in the real world, as they say.
Right.
If you have like a brick and mortar type situation or something like that, it's really easy for you to look around and see who your competitors are. But in an online space, you're competing against other people who are also trying to rank for the same keywords, and that might yield very different results than you are anticipating. And so you really want to have a good picture of what the online space looks like.
Now, I love SEMrush so much. We've used it for years at the agency that we have developed an affiliate relationship with SEMrush, which enables us to bring you guys.
Yes, you can get 30 days of SEMrush Pro for free. You can follow this link here in red. You can click the sign up button that's popping up right around now. Either one of these things will take you to that page, and you can go ahead and get signed up for 30 whole days. You will have full access to SEMrush Pro. And not only will you be able to look around and figure out all of these things, you're going to learn so much the very first time you type your URL into that search bar at the top, it's going to blow your mind. And all of these reports, what we're showing you are just the kind of digested versions that show up on the main dashboard. But all of these are in-depth, exhaustive reports that you can open up, you can click around, you can download, you can print it out if you want.
You can print it out and smoke signal it. You can fax it to your grandma if you want to.
Yes. And
she's going to need a time machine back to 1982.
Absolutely.
A working fax machine.
So I stand by the printing. But anyways.
It's a $99 value.
It is.
And you can cancel it at any time, but before you cancel it, dig in and download all of your keywords, because if I want to, I can pop out a spreadsheet of all of the 14,891 keywords that my website ranks for. That's valuable information to have. Go get that, guys.
And to be clear, what is very exciting about this particular tool is that you can do this for your website or any website. So if you want to know what your competition is up to, you pop their URL in there and suddenly you're going to have a pretty good idea of how many keywords they rank for. Are they paying for their traffic? What sorts of keywords do they rank for? Do they have backlinks? Anything that you can find out about yourself, you can find out about your competition, and knowledge is power. SEMrush, I could spend hours, no joke. Like, it's so fun once you
It's kind of creepy because you can find out so much information about your competition that you don't think that you should actually be able to get access to.
Yeah, you're like, how? I know the first time I was in there, I was like, really?
You're like, is somebody going to take out a restraining order on me after this? Like, I can just have all of this information about my competition? Yeah, okay, well, excuse me for the next 5 hours. I'm busy.
Right. Do you want to figure out who your competition is and what they're doing? Or do you have a very specific competitor in mind and you would like to reverse engineer their success? You want to understand how they're growing their business the way that they are. SEMrush is going to give you the behind the scenes look at exactly what they're doing, and that knowledge it's insane what you can do with it.
You can monetize that knowledge.
Absolutely.
You can turn that knowledge into money with a more effective SEO strategy that, again, steals sales and market share and leads and traffic from your competition.
Yeah, and it's free for you to go and get this information. Even if you don't hold on to it, we urge you, please go sign up, get this information. It's going to help you.
And then once you have this information, once you know when you rank in spots, let's say 2 through 10, you can revamp your content, which is something that almost nobody does.
Yeah, and it's crazy because what happens, I think a lot of people just don't understand the power of it. They don't understand that you can, and that Google, I think some people are afraid that Google will see it as a bad thing. But as long as you're keeping the general structure of the blog post as it already ranks and then just adding it and creating more value.
Making it better.
Absolutely.
What's not to love about making something better? This is the low-hanging fruit. If you're not revamping your content, you're leaving real money on the table, because it is so much easier to get a page that already ranks in, let's say, spots 2 through 20. Say you're on the first 2 pages somewhere and you want to move yourself up. It is much easier and faster for you to revamp existing content. And we've got a great guide here that you can check out at this link that's on the slide. This is where the easy sales and leads are. If you can tweak a page, if you can add more content, if you can add more value to the reader, it is way faster to bump yourself up from a, let's say, 4 spot to a 1 spot than it is to rank even on the first 3 pages.
Absolutely.
The first 3 months. Because SEO is a longer term play. And so when you start posting your content, you start driving links to it, understand that you're not going to rank #1 overnight. It's going to take months for you to really kind of shake out to where Google's going to see you on that SERP, and then you can make adjustments as necessary to optimize your results. But if you're just taking what Google's giving you and happy with your 4th place ranking, when you know you can add 500 words to it and probably have a shot at ranking #2 or #1, you're leaving traffic, leads, and sales on the table.
Absolutely, and that's what you don't want to do.
No, so check out this guide. Kelly wrote this guide.
Yep, and so you can check it out right there. It'll walk you all through it. It's very straightforward once you understand the basics of SEO, and it's going to give you the best results, really, of really any method.
So we have now reviewed all of the 9 expensive SEO mistakes, the 9 most common, I would say, that we see.
There are
people
more
make.
new and creative ways we find every day, but those are the most common.
There are new and creative ways that people mess up their SEO. And sometimes I'm like, how'd you get there from here?
Right. I don't even understand this, but all right.
Who told you that was an idea? But hey, if you still need more help,
yes,
you've come to the right place.
Absolutely. So SEO is one thing that we see of all the things that we do that's the most intimidating to people. But to be honest, not to undervalue our expertise here, SEO, when you understand the basics, is not rocket science. It is completely doable. It is something that you really can comprehend this. You can do this. And so here's the thing. We run these trainings through the Content Factory to major corporations around the world, and we charge thousands of dollars. Bare minimum, it's going to be $3,500, and that's for us to do it over the phone with you.
Yes, yes. $3,500 is the bare minimum. We charge up to $15,000.
Yes. And businesses are paying this because they understand the value of SEO and the ROI that can come from it, and getting their team trained to best in industry standards is worth that kind of money. Now, the thing is that, as you know, Carrie owns the Content Factory. I also come from a startup background. We're both really passionate about small businesses.
I started my company with $500. If somebody was like, sure, I'll teach you SEO training for $3,500, I couldn't have paid for it. I wouldn't have been able to afford it. 10, 15,000, there's just no way.
Absolutely, and we completely understand that. But what we love about SEO so much is that it is the great equalizer. If you do not have the budget to compete with larger companies, if you're a newer company, if you're a startup, if you are a brick and mortar store that's just moving into the online space, like if you're just getting started, or if you're really ready to turn that corner to explosive growth, you might not have that money right now. But this information, SEO is the one place where for a minimal amount of investment, you can get these massive results, and suddenly you're competitive with businesses that are much larger than you. And this is information, we've been working on this for almost 2 years now. We've been really working towards taking all this information, crystallizing it into something that's easy to understand and easy to follow no matter where you are, even if you're a beginner. And we want to put it in the hands of people who can, learn it, become dangerous, and really see results and really grow their business.
And that's why we were able to put together this training seminar. It's a whole bulk training. You would not believe how many guides how many downloadable resources are there that you get with this?
Probably about a dozen. You're going to get over 8 hours of video. Well, we're going to teach you basically the exact method that Carrie used to grow the TCF into a multi-million-dollar agency with only $500. This is the exact method that we use on our major national clients and startups and everyone in between. And we're going to show you not just how to rank for keywords and not just how to get that traffic, but to target it so that you're getting more leads and sales than honestly you'll even know what to do with. This is how the Content Factory has been on a waiting list for literally years.
Yeah.
Without a sales team.
No sales team. People are like, oh, can I talk to your sales manager? And I'm like, hi, it's me. Don't have one. I'm real busy though. Can we talk next week or the month after that?
Exactly.
And that's a great position to be in. I get to have my choice of whatever kind of clients I want, and I'm limited because I can't scale, right? But if I had products that I could sell, and there were guys, SEO, if you're in a scalable industry, if you've got a scalable product or service, invest in SEO. It'll pay dividends for years.
Absolutely. So here's very specifically what we're going to teach you how. If you look below, or if you go on to the sales page, you'll see a link that's popped up. We're going to go really in-depth, section by section, exactly what you'll learn if you want to dive into that and really understand what this whole training series is about. But just as a quick synopsis, we're going to teach you how to do keyword research like a pro. We told you that getting those keywords right is the #1 ingredient in you getting your whole SEO strategy right. So we're going to show you how to do that the exact same way that our team of SEO experts does it. We're going to teach you how to write content that brings in traffic and highly targeted leads and sales. This is going to be traffic that is ready to make a purchase from you specifically. And the power of that is huge, and it has the power to transform your business. We're also going to teach you how to be your own PR team with Hero. Now, it's a pretty simple process, but it's more involved than what we went into in terms of building journalist relationships, making sure that you stand out from the pack, all of that. But that is huge right there. Also, we're going to teach you how to turn your website into a backlink generating machine. So if you're hearing about these backlinks and how you need more, and you recognize you get that SEMrush Pro, and you look in there and you're like, oh, not so many backlinks.
There could be doing better there.
We're going to show you not just how to acquire those backlinks, but how to make your website acquire those backlinks on its own without much intervention from you.
That's my favorite kind. That's the lazy backlink technique.
Yeah.
Just kick back and generate backlinks. It works.
Absolutely. So we're going to teach you that and so much more. As for what's included, we're going to give you lifetime access to our full SEO video training series. And right now, as I said, that's about a dozen comprehensive guides. We're 8+ hours of video, but SEO updates all the time. So we're going to be updating all the time. So you'll always have the most up-to-date information in there. And as we continue to build this out over time, this is a newer course. As we talk to you, we're going to hear more. This is going to be constantly updated with the latest of everything that we have, the exact tools that we use, the templates that we use, the guides that we use to train our staff are all going to be available to you forever for the very low price of $349.
Yeah, that is less than a tenth of what I charge the clients that come through TCF. And it's because I remember what it was like. And I know I'm a scrappy business owner. You don't start from $500 and turn it into what I have without being scrappy. And I want to teach you guys how to be scrappy too. It's something that anybody can do. And really, SEO is still the wild, wild west. There are so many opportunities for you to level the playing field with strategy over budget.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can get places with your business that you wouldn't believe if you set up your entire website with the right SEO strategy from the beginning. And if you're not at the beginning, it's okay. We can get you there.
Right.
No matter what, but SEO is always, if you have an online business or a business where you're doing sales online or where you're attracting your leads online, you need an SEO strategy and you need a good one. And this way you can learn it yourself. If you think that your business might be growing and you're going to hire people down the road, we're both from the startup world, we know what that looks like. All of these training videos are still going to be available for you. So even if you lose your SEO person, guess what? You can get somebody else in there and you can get them trained to the exact standards that we use to deliver massive results to our clients. Your new person can get there too. So this is really an investment in your business and in your staffing and in your growth. And we're so excited.
I'm geeked about it.
This has been something we've been trying to put together for 2 years.
And to be clear, the people who spend thousands of dollars on this training are thrilled with it afterward. I get thank you letters.
Absolutely. At $3,500 up to $15,000, businesses find massive ROI from these trainings and are grateful to have taken them. So at $349, this is a steal of a deal, and we want you to get the most ROI out of this. I want to see you 10 and 100x this investment this year.
And I want to hear about it too. Email me. Send me the good news. I love good news. I love wins. I love winning. Scrappy people like to win, you know?
Yes, and we're excited to see you win. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you got some good tips today to get you moving forward on your SEO strategy. And we would love to see those of you who feel like this SEO 101 training series, if this sounds like a good fit for you and your business, get signed up now. It's only offered for a limited time and you don't want to miss out.
No. Get on in here and learn some SEO. We'll make it fun.
We're fun.
We'll make it fun. We'll make it as painless as possible. And really, SEO is not painful at all, except for to the competition.
Yep.
After you steal their rankings.
Yowza.
All right. So we hope to see you there.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys.
That ran long. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. That was dope.
I thought we did a good job.
I thought we did a really good job. We weren't humming and liking and we really pulled our shit together on that one. I'm a thirsty mamacita though.